Imagine being told that your entire future depends on a single knife. Not a sword, not a battlefield, a knife. And if everything goes according to plan, by sunset, you'll never father children, never have a normal family, and you'll spend the rest of your life carrying the proof of it around in a little box. Welcome to the imperial court, and congratulations, you're a eunuch. Now, before you start picturing silk robes, golden palaces, and servants fanning you with giant feathers, let me stop you right there. Because while some eunuchs became among the most powerful men in history, most endured a nightmare that began with one of the most horrifying procedures imaginable. And the worst part? The surgery was only the beginning. The year is 1420. The air smells of smoke, horse manure, and wet stone. Ahead of you rises the largest palace complex on Earth. Walls painted red, roofs covered in shining yellow tiles. Thousands of officials moving through endless courtyards. This is the Imperial Palace of Ming China, a place filled with wealth beyond imagination, a place where a single whisper can change the fate of an empire, a place where tens of thousands of eunuchs serve the emperor. And now, somehow, you're one of them. But first, let's talk about how you got here. Because nobody grows up dreaming of becoming a eunuch. Well, almost nobody. Most arrive here because life outside the palace is worse. Your family is poor, painfully poor. The kind of poor where winter means choosing which child gets enough food. The kind of poor where one failed harvest can destroy an entire family. Then someone arrives with an opportunity. The palace needs servants. The emperor rewards loyal eunuchs. Some even become rich, powerful, respected. There's just one condition. You must surrender a very specific body part. Actually, several body parts, and suddenly that career opportunity starts sounding a little less exciting. The procedure itself is horrifying. No modern anesthesia, no sterile operating room, no trained surgeon by today's standards. Just a specialist with a sharp blade and years of experience, hopefully. One mistake, and you bleed to death. Another mistake, an infection finishes the job days later. The operation is brutally simple. Everything is removed. Not just the obvious part. Everything. Then a small tube is inserted so you can still urinate. If that tube shifts or becomes blocked, you may die in agony. Afterward, you're forced to walk. Not rest, walk. For hours. The belief is that movement helps recovery. Imagine enduring the worst pain of your life while someone essentially tells you to walk it off. If you survive several days and can successfully urinate, congratulations. You've passed the first test. You're now officially a eunuch, which sounds much more impressive than guy who survived a medieval nightmare. But here's the strange part. The removed organs aren't thrown away. They're preserved, carefully, stored in a container. Many eunuchs keep them their entire lives. Why? Because Chinese tradition places enormous importance on being buried with a complete body. The hope is that, after death, those missing pieces can be reunited with you. Imagine carrying around a tiny box for decades because you're worried about your afterlife paperwork. History is full of surprises. Once inside the palace, life becomes a maze of rules. Every movement is watched. Every conversation matters. One wrong word can ruin you. One rumor can destroy you. The emperor is considered the son of heaven. You do not annoy the son of heaven. You do not contradict the son of heaven, and you definitely do not become the reason the son of heaven has a bad morning. Because history shows that people have lost far more than their jobs for less. At first your duties seem ordinary. Sweeping corridors, delivering messages, cleaning rooms, managing clothing, preparing meals. But the palace is enormous. Some estimates place the population of the Forbidden City in the thousands upon thousands. It's practically a city trapped inside another city. Every hallway contains secrets. Every courtyard contains rivalries. Every official wants influence. And influence is where things get dangerous. Because eunuchs occupy a unique position. Unlike ministers and scholars, they live inside the palace. They have direct access to the emperor. They hear conversations nobody else hears. They see private moments nobody else sees. And sooner or later, someone realizes that information is power. Suddenly, you're not just carrying messages, you're controlling them. not just opening doors. You're deciding who gets through them, not just listening to secrets. You're collecting them. Some eunuchs rise astonishingly high. A few become richer than noble families. Others command military expeditions. One famous eunuch, Zheng He, leads enormous treasure fleets across the Indian Ocean decades before many Europeans begin their great voyages. Imagine going from impoverished child to commander of giant fleets visiting distant kingdoms. Not bad for someone whose career started with a knife. Of course, immense power creates immense enemies. Confucian officials despise palace eunuchs. They see them as uneducated intruders meddling in government. Eunuchs see scholars as arrogant elites trying to steal influence. The result is constant political warfare. Plots, accusations, investigations, executions. Think of the world's most toxic workplace. Then add absolute monarchy. Now you're getting close. And while a handful rise to extraordinary power, most eunuchs remain trapped in exhausting routines, long hours, strict discipline, little freedom, no family life, no descendants, no chance of building the future most people dream about. You're surrounded by luxury that doesn't belong to you. Golden halls, silk robes, rare treasures, magnificent feasts, yet much of it feels just beyond your reach, close enough to touch, too far away to own. Then comes old age, perhaps the cruelest chapter. Your body weakens, friends disappear, the emperor you served dies. Then another, then another. New rulers bring new favorites. New favorites push aside old servants. The palace that once felt full of opportunity slowly becomes a waiting room. And unlike ordinary families, you have no children to care for you, no grandchildren, no descendants, just memories. And maybe that little box you've kept all these years? The strangest thing about being a court eunuch is that your life is a contradiction. You are trusted because you can never found a rival dynasty. Yet nobody fully trusts you. You may live closer to the emperor than anyone else, yet remain completely powerless. Or you might become one of the most influential people in the empire. All because of a decision made years earlier. A decision involving one knife, one terrible day, and one gamble that changed everything. Some won that gamble, many didn't, but nearly all paid a price few of us would ever willingly accept. So the next time you're having a bad day at work, remember, your boss probably isn't the son of heaven. Your coworkers probably aren't plotting against you, and your promotion probably doesn't require medieval surgery. At least let's hope not. If you liked the video, comment and subscribe for more videos.